Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, today we will be going over the CompTIA A Plus Core 1 exam, okay? Preferably the 220-1201, which is the new version of the Core 1, okay? I am not a professor, but I went through the PDF and I took all the objectives without straying away from topic and without straying away from the different subjects. I just went through the objectives on what CompTIA told you need to know, and in order of how it is on the objective PDF, I created this PowerPoint review, okay? This is not a full course, and what I mean by that is this is basically a review. Like after you already went to class, you already studied, you know these things, but you just need a way to review before the test, you know? You just need to review and make sure that you remember the things, especially those things that you studied at first in the first week, 2 weeks that might be slipping your mind. You need to review and jog your memory, okay? So this is what this is about. Every single thing on that objective PDF is covered in this review. And like I said, I am not a professor, all right? But I have taken many CompTIA exams from the A Plus to the Network Plus, the Linux Plus, Security Plus, CYSA Plus, Pentest Plus. All these exams I've taken and passed. And I was like, you know what? How can I help all the people that are subscribed to my channel? How can I help all the future people that will be subscribing? How can I help the people that are coming up in IT brand new? And, they need a way to get in to this industry. They're trying to find people that kind of are like them, because sometimes people relate better to the people that came up in the industry the same way that they came up versus the others that been in the industry for 20 years and it's like they can't fully relate to them because the times has changed, the technology has changed and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's jump into the videos, okay? Now, this exam is a two-part exam, right? To get A Plus certified, you got to take two parts, the Core 1 and then the Core 2. This reviews on the Core 1 and it covers more like phones, laptops, mobile devices, networks, hardware, cloud virtualization, and troubleshooting, okay? You have 90 minutes, max 90 questions, and you have to score about a 675 out of 900, okay? Which is very doable as long as you put that work in and you study, right? Domain 1, mobile devices, all right? We have objective 1.1, given a scenario, monitor mobile device hardware and use appropriate replacement techniques, all right? Now, most laptops and mobile devices today use lithium-ion batteries. These are efficient, but they wear down over time. Common problems are batteries that won't hold a charge, drain quickly, or swell. If you ever see a swollen battery, like when a laptop trackpad bulges, that's dangerous. The correct step is to power it down immediately and replace it with an approved battery. Remember, always use proper disposal and never puncture or throw lithium batteries in the trash. Now, laptop keyboards fail for many reasons. Stuck keys, liquid spills, or entire rows not working. If a user reports that certain keys don't respond, the fix is usually to replace the keyboard. That involves removing the bezel, disconnecting the ribbon cable, and installing the correct replacement. Always order the part that matches the exact laptop model because layouts differ. RAM is the short-term memory of a system. If you see random crashes, freezing, or errors during boot, faulty RAM could be the cause. When upgrading RAM, like moving from 8 gigabytes to 16 gigs, remember laptops use SODIMM models, not full-size DIMMs. Handle RAM with ESD precautions, and insert it firmly at an angle until it locks in. Hard drives and solid-state drives are where data lives. Hard drives have moving parts and fail with clicking or grinding noises. Solid-state drives are much faster with no moving parts, but can fail suddenly. When upgrading, you can either clone the old drive or do a clean OS install. Now keep in mind, hard drives, higher capacity but slower. Solid-state drives, faster performance but higher cost per gigabyte. Wireless cards are network interface card modules, often M.2, that enable devices to connect to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth networks. When these cards fail, common issues include dropped connections and the inability to detect available networks. A typical replacement scenario occurs when a laptop repeatedly disconnects from enterprise Wi-Fi and diagnostics point to a failing Intel AX201 card. The proper fix involves removing the laptop's bottom cover, replacing the faulty card, and reattaching the main and auxiliary antenna leads to restore stable wireless connectivity. Biometrics. Mobile device hardware replacements often focus on two key components: biometrics and NFC modules. Biometrics such as fingerprint readers and facial recognition are essential for user authentication. If the biometric reader fails, as can happen with models like the HP EliteBook, the fix usually involves replacing the biometric sensor board. NFC or near-field communication is primarily used for badge access and mobile payments. When the NFC scanner malfunctions, the hardware solution is to replace the NFC module, or in some cases, the back cover assembly. The key point is that biometrics ensure secure user authentication, while NFC enables short-range radio communication for access and payments. And both typically require hardware replacement when they stop working. Wi-Fi antenna connectors and placement involve coaxial antenna wires routed through the laptop display lid to ensure optimal reception. When problems occur, the most common symptoms include poor Wi-Fi signal strength and frequent dropped connections. Cameras and webcams are integrated imaging devices commonly found in laptops and mobile devices. They can experience issues such as blurry images, failure to be detected in Device Manager, or a privacy shutter becoming stuck. For example, when a user experiences a black screen during Teams calls, it often points to a failed webcam module. The replacement process involves removing the bezel, swapping out the camera board, and testing functionality with the Windows Camera app to ensure the new module is working properly. Also, making sure that drivers are updated on the device will definitely help with making sure that the cameras and webcams that are being used are working properly. Microphones in laptops and mobile devices function as built-in audio input devices, enabling voice communication and recording. Common problems include muffled or no audio, disabled drivers, or complete failure to pick up sound. For example, if a laptop microphone stops working after liquid damage, the issue often requires replacing the mic board, which is frequently integrated with the webcam assembly. After replacement, functionality is verified through the sound control panel to ensure proper operations. USB or Universal Serial Bus is the standard interface for connecting and powering mobile devices. Older connectors like micro USB and mini USB were widely used in Android devices, cameras, and various peripherals. Today, USB-C has become the dominant standard due to its reversible design, faster speeds, and support for both power delivery and video output. For instance, a field technician might use USB-C to connect a laptop to a projector during a client presentation while still keeping a micro USB cable on hand for legacy barcode scanners. Lightning is Apple's proprietary connector USB on iPhones and iPads prior to the transition to USB-C. It supports multiple functions including charging, data synchronization, and with the help of an adapter, audio and video output. A practical example is in tech support where a damaged lightning cable is replaced to restore charging functionality on an iPad being used as a point of sale terminal. Near field communication, or NFC, is a short range wireless technology that works only within a few centimeters. It's commonly used in mobile devices for secure mobile payments, badge scanning, and quick pairing between devices. For example, many companies use NFC badges to grant employees secure access to buildings, and a technician may be asked to configure phones so they can use those badges. The main takeaway here is that NFC provides very close range secure communication, making it ideal for authentication and payment systems. Bluetooth is short range wireless, usually about 10 meters. Though Class 1 can reach up to 100 meters, it's commonly used for headsets, mice, keyboards, and speakers. The trade-off is that it's slower than Wi-Fi. Tethering and hotspots are two ways to share phones' mobile data connection. With tethering, the phone shares its data directly with another device using USB or Bluetooth. With hotspot, the phone creates a Wi-Fi network so multiple devices can connect. A good example is when IT staff enables a hotspot on a 5G smartphone during a WAN outage, allowing laptops in the field to connect back into the headquarters through a VPN. The key idea here is that tethering is usually one-to-one, while hotspot allows one-to-many connections. Another important set of mobile accessories are stylus and headsets. A stylus is essentially a digital pen used for precision input, which is especially helpful in professional settings like healthcare. Headsets are another common accessory and can be either wired or USB connections or wireless via Bluetooth. Mobile devices often rely on external accessories like speakers and webcams to extend functionality. Speakers can be either built-in or external, connected through wired connections such as USB or jacks, or wirelessly through Bluetooth. The key takeaway here is that both speakers and webcams provide flexible options with external devices, often enhancing quality compared to built-in components. Docking stations and port replicators both expand the connectivity of laptops, but they serve slightly different purposes. A docking station is a full-featured expansion device that adds power, multiple USB ports, video outputs, Ethernet, and audio, all through one connection. For example, many corporate setups use laptop docks that allow dual monitor output, wired Ethernet, and charging through a single Thunderbolt cable. A port replicator, on the other hand, is simpler. It mainly extends ports like USB and HDMI, but may not provide power delivery and advanced video support. A common use case would be sales staff using a port replicator in a hotel conference room to connect their laptops to a projector and external USB device for presentation. Now, the key difference is that docking stations provide a complete workstation experience, while port replicators are a lightweight, portable solution for basic expansion. Mobile devices use different accessories and connectivity options to improve usability, and each has unique benefits dependent on user needs. A trackpad is a built-in touch-sensitive surface, such as on a MacBook Pro, that allows gesture-based navigation. A drawing pad, like a Wacom tablet, provides external stylus input for precision tasks, making it ideal for graphic designers working in programs like Photoshop. A track point, often found on ThinkPad keyboards, is a small pointing stick that allows navigation without an external mouse, which can be especially useful for field technicians. Together, these tools highlight how input devices are tailored for efficiency, creativity, and mobility. Objective 1.3, given a scenario, configure basic mobile device network connectivity and provide application support. Mobile devices connect to the internet through different generations of cellular networks. 3G is now considered legacy. 4G LTE is the current standard, providing good speeds. And 5G delivers high bandwidth with very low latency, making it ideal for modern apps and services. Another option for connectivity is using a hotspot. The main takeaway is that mobile devices rely on evolving cellular standards, and hotspots allow that connectivity to be shared when needed. Wi-Fi and SIM cards are essential for mobile device connectivity. Wi-Fi connects a device to a wireless LAN using an SSID and encryption standards such as WPA2 or WPA3. A typical issue might be a user unable to connect to the office Wi-Fi because of an incorrect WPA2 enterprise certificate. In that case, the technician would reinstall the root CA certificate to resolve the problem. SIM cards and eSIMs provide carrier information for cellular service. A SIM is a physical card, while an eSIM is an embedded software version that can be provisioned remotely. For example, when a user travels internationally, IT may set up a local carrier eSIM profile to avoid expensive roaming charges. The key point is that Wi-Fi provides local wireless access, while SIMs and eSIMs connect users to carrier networks for mobile communication and data. Bluetooth is a short-range wireless technology used to connect devices such as headsets, keyboards, or barcode scanners. To configure Bluetooth, you first enable the Bluetooth radio in the device settings. Next, you enable pairing, which makes the device discoverable to others. Once visible, the mobile device scans and finds the peripheral you want to connect to. Many devices require a PIN code, which is often sometimes simple like 0000 or code generated by the device. After pairing, you always test connectivity by sending a file, playing audio, or confirming data transfer. For example, a technician might pair a Bluetooth code scanner to a warehouse tablet, enter the provided PIN, and verify it works by scanning an item into the system. This process ensures that Bluetooth devices are not only connected but also functional for daily operation. Location services allow mobile devices to determine their position for navigation, tracking, or security. GPS services rely on satellites to provide precise global positioning. For example, logistics apps often require GPS to track delivery vehicles in real time. However, GPS does not always work well indoors, so devices can fall back on cellular location services, which use cell tower triangulation. This method is less accurate but still effective for general location tracking, especially inside buildings. A common use case would be locating a lost phone through a carrier's Find My Device feature, which can still detect the phone's location using cellular data, even if GPS is unavailable. Understanding both GPS and cellular location services is important because many mobile applications depend on them for functionality and security. Mobile device management, or MDM, is used by organizations to secure and control mobile devices. With corporate-owned devices, IT has full control, including the ability to enforce policies, push updates, and even perform remote wipes if necessary. In contrast, BYOD, or bring your own devices, allows employees to use personal devices, but IT management is more limited, usually restricted to a containerized work profile that separates business data from personal data. MDM policies enforce important security requirements such as setting pins, enforcing encryption, and restricting unauthorized app installations. Corporate apps like Outlook or Teams can also be deployed directly through the MDM store. For example, with Microsoft Intune, an organization can block a BYOD device from accessing company emails unless full disk encryption is enabled. This ensures that sensitive corporate data remains protected, even on personal devices. Mobile device synchronization ensures data stays consistent across all devices. First, users must be aware of data caps, since heavy syncing like cloud photo backups can quickly exceed limits. Next, calendar, contacts, and mail syncing is critical for business. With tools like Exchange Active Sync, keeping information updated across mobile, desktop, and web. Finally, business apps and cloud storage like OneDrive or Google Drive allow real-time file sync, so changes on one device instantly appear on another, boosting productivity and collaboration.